Boom. And we are live with another digital episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. And we got a good show for you, man. Coming from the digital studios, like I said, we have an author on the show today. Carson Harris is going to be talking to us about a book that he just released a few months back, I think. We'll get the exact date when he jumps on here. It's called Tales from the OR, a candid look at the operating room and its culture. As some of you may know, I've mentioned it on the show before. I work in the operating room, but I've never wrote a book about it. So we're going to get Carson on here to give talk to us about why he wrote the book, his perspective in the OR, and give you, I don't know if people take it for granted that's never been in the OR. I should say we take it for granted, what it's like. I know it can be something that's very scary for people when they go to have surgery, stuff like that. And we can kind of break it down for you. So, but before we do that, we're going to thank the people that keep the lights on for us, even through the digital studios here. Right out of the gate, Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. If you're looking for a great local dentist, Southern Magnolia Smiles, you can look them up on Facebook and Instagram at Southern Magnolia Smiles. They're located right here on Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. 2025 is the year to brush your teeth. So when you're ready to book that consultation, get those pearly whites shined up and looking good, you can give them a shout at 228-215-1202. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, Taylor & Cox Law Firm is the one for you. They are practicing law right out of Jackson County, George County, and Greene County, right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUI, family law, divorce, child custody, you name it. If you need somebody that's going to fight tooth and nail for you, man, just give them a shout at 228-696-0111 and tell them that Brownwater sent you. It is March as we record this episode. If you're trying to get back into the gym and holding on to that New Year, that idea of you're going to execute on that New Year's resolution, Forever Young Men and Women's Health can get you back on track. Go look them up on the socials as well. Kendrick's got a lot of good content out there on the internet where he describes how to bring, as he says it, bring medicine, health, and exercise all together to help men and women live their best life. He's a former guest on one of our episodes, so go check that out as well. And book a consultation with him. Let them do some blood work on you, see if you're vitamin deficient or hormone deficient. Like I always tell you, they specialize in testosterone replacement for both men and women. That's right, women too. So go look it up and book a consultation with them at 228-363-6623. And once again, tell them that Brownwater sent you. Coming up in just a couple weeks, we have the 2025 Bay Rat Bash. You can register right now on brownwaterbanter.com or at brownwaterbanter.com. It's going to be April the 5th. At Dewey Do Bugs over in D'Iberville, and that's presented by us here at Brownwater and Fish in the South as well. You can turn a hardhead catfish into $1,000 for the first place. Second place is going to be $500, and we have some subsequent categories that you can fish outside of the hardhead division, like black drum, gaff top, white trout, and redfish. There's also a completely separate spearfish division. So if you like diving and you're a spear fisherman, you can register for that as well. So a lot of cash and prizes. It's going to be a family friendly event. That day, Saturday from 5 to 6 is the weigh-in. So bring out the family, bring out the kids. Even if you don't fish, just come and hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. Like I say, it's right there in D'Iberville. So go to brownwaterbanter.com and join the tournament now. I think that wraps it up for us, man. So let's bring in Carson. Let me find the button to click here. And let's see. Carson, what's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just enjoying the day off today.
Oh, okay. So you had a day off. Nice. The rest of us had to work today, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
people, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. For the people watching the show, Carson and I worked together in Gulfport in the OR, like I said, and he moved away. Carson, can you tell people where you moved out of Mississippi, let's say, huh?
I moved out of Mississippi. I'm living in Albuquerque, New Mexico now.
Okay. All right. Killer. That's a place I've always wanted to visit. I think we talked about this while you were still here, strictly based on watching the series Breaking Bad. I've always wanted to go to New Mexico as the state anyway, just because it looks so beautiful in that show.
Right.
But so you wrote this book, Tales from the OR. What is it? A candid look at the operating room and its culture. If you could, we always like to get the guests on here to give their backstory for people that are just hearing about you for the first time. What is your experience in healthcare? When did it start? What do you do? That type of thing.
Right. Well, I started in healthcare in 1983. So I've been at this for 42 years now, close to 42 years, and uh, and I kind of fell into it. I didn't go into healthcare by conventional means. I wanted to go in the Air Force, and in order for me to do that, I had to do kind of a workaround. So I had to go into the reserves, and and while I and in order to get into the reserves, I had to take a certain specialty, which I had a choice between X-ray tech or OR tech or medical tech. Medical tech I didn't want because that's just doing scut work for the nurses on the floor. I didn't want to do that. Radiology tech was what I actually wanted to do. The only problem was the only position that they had for that was a staff sergeant's position, and I was going in as a a airman basic. So the only other one they had was surgical tech. So I picked that one, and I've been in the operating room ever since. Um, I did surgical tech for 30 years, and then I went to nursing school and um, got my nursing degree, my associate's degree, and then I went back and got my bachelor's, and then went back and got my master's. And I've been certified as an OR nurse for the past 10 years now.
Okay. Okay, cool. And so let's break some of that down for people that don't work in the OR like we do. So describe what a surgical technologist does in the OR for somebody. Obviously, people know if you go to the
Well,
operating room, you're having some type of surgery, and that actually can vary to mean a lot of different things. But let's just keep it with what does a surgical tech do?
a surgical tech, believe it or not, is probably one of the most important jobs in the operating room. They they're pictured in TV as someone who stands there and hands instruments to the doctor, but they do a lot more than that. They prepare the procedure. They make sure that everything is gathered for the procedure. They maintain a sterile field. Um, they help out with the nurses, and they even help anesthesia to a certain extent.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, no, they do a lot. They really do. They're heavily involved in the surgery. For people that don't know, like if you think of like a Grey's Anatomy or something, they're the people that are standing there with the gowns on and the gloves on, and they're touching the patient and holding the scalpels and holding the equipment and that type of stuff. There, they have to really know the surgery and anticipate the surgeon's next move. Have him, whatever the next piece of equipment that he needs that needs to be up, ready, connected, put together, whatever the case may be, so that surgeon can constantly focus on what he's doing and not be having to direct, what he needs next, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they've got probably the widest range of roles in the operating room of anyone. Um, I did that, like I said, I did that for 30 years, and but I wanted to make more money. I wanted to have more of a voice in my place of employment, and that's why I went to nursing school.
Okay. And what year, how long had you been a surgical tech again when you went to nursing school, and what year around would that have been?
I started in '83, and I finished my nursing my associate's degree in nursing. I finished
Mhm.
in 2014. So that
Okay.
was
Pretty good.
30
Yeah.
31 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you had a leg up on in nursing school, I would imagine. At least when they covered the surgical topics and the post-surgical stuff, nursing care.
Well, one of the good things about having been a surgical tech for that long was I didn't have to work on the floor as a nurse. I went straight from nursing school straight into the operating room. So I didn't have to
Okay. And
do
now,
a peri-op program or anything. So that helped out a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, you definitely you had the experience there. I know for people like because we work in that environment every day, day in and day out, we may take it for granted. Surgery, when you have to have it yourself or on a loved one, family, friend, kid, whatever, it can be extremely anxiety inducing, right? People are scared, right? For sure. And
Oh,
I had
absolutely.
surgery about a year ago myself on my knee, and because I knew the procedure, I knew everything that was pretty much going to happen. I'd been on the anesthesia side of it plenty of times. For me, it wasn't quite the same. I wasn't as nervous. I really wasn't nervous at all. But one thing that I did notice that I didn't like was I guess you would call it the loss of control, right? Like having to be pushed around in a bed or in a
Right.
wheelchair after it was over. That was an extreme shock for me that I hadn't felt before. And I take for granted that my patients may feel sometimes. So it was kind of eye opening for me to see that. Can you speak to that
Right.
at all? And have you had any personal experience with that?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in 2009, I had a sigmoid colon resection, and as you know, for that procedure, the position that you're in, you're laying on your back with your legs in the air, and
Mm.
you're
It's less than
completely
flattering.
nude. And what was most terrifying about that for me was knowing that I was going to be completely naked in front of my coworkers. My entire OR team were all women that I worked with, and so it it kind of made me nervous in a different sort of way, kind of an embarrassed sort of. But I went in and I didn't feel that I didn't feel that I was nervous at all. Um, uh, but when they took my blood pressure, it was through the roof. So apparently, I was subconsciously very nervous about this because you've got the kind of fear that you have that comes with not knowing what's going to happen, but then you have the kind of fear that comes with knowing what's going to happen. And so that was what I
Yeah.
experienced more than anything else.
I don't think there's many professions out there where if you're the person in the profession and then you have to use that service, that translates into all of your coworkers seeing you naked in a very less
Right.
than flattering position, right? If you're a mechanic and you need to get your car worked on and you bring it to the mechanic shop where you work, you don't have to get naked while they fix your car.
Nah, they probably like it better if you kept your clothes on. Actually,
Correct, exactly. Well, the OR is
Yes,
different in that
exactly.
regard.
did,
Yeah.
did you go home
And
that night before the surgery and do a couple extra
no,
crunches just in case?
no, I don't think a couple of extra crunches would have helped me much. But the thing that made me feel better more than anything else was when I woke up. Those were my people that were doing the surgery on me. So what made me
Yeah.
feel best about it was when I woke up and not knowing how everything went. When I looked down and noticed that my toenails had been painted pink, I felt fine. I knew I was going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
think
something
that's a
that they
great
do for that's not something that they do for very many people, but
That
right,
they
sounds like
did
right.
that for
special
me.
treatment.
They painted my
Yeah,
toenails pink.
yeah, that
There
sounds
you
like some
go.
special treatment for sure.
Um,
Yeah, that's a pretty good segment or segue, I should say, into what the part of the your book there is the operating room and its culture, right? So there is a
yes.
unique culture inside of the OR, just like I'm sure any profession has. But before
Sure.
we get into that, what was the reason? Like what you've already mentioned how you've continued on your education and you've always pushed forward and tried to climb the next rung of the ladder, so to speak. What made you want to write a book? Where did that stem from?
Well, that came from something that we've always said in the operating room. Every time we come across one of these interesting things that happens, everyone says someone ought to write a book. And so I took that to heart and I wrote one. And now I'm in the process of writing another one. So,
Okay. Okay. Well,
so
tell people, give us a little synopsis of what the book is about. I've read it, a couple of pages of it myself. Heather bought it, She had it out, and we were looking it over, and it seems it's appropriately titled. It's Tales from the OR is exactly what it is, right? It's your
Yes.
perspective or your take on some things that have happened, right?
Right. Right. And now there are certain things that it's kind of would be kind of an inside joke, because unless you work in the operating room, you may not understand it. I try to
Yeah.
explain it as much as possible. If I use medical jargon, I always explain what it means, or at least I try to explain what it means. Sometimes I take it for granted that people know what these things are, and they may not, and that's why I've got a place at the back of the book where you can send me an email, and I'll be happy to I'll be happy to answer any questions about anything that I wrote in there. But yeah, it's a collection of stories, and they're not all mine. Some of them were told to me, some things that I was reminded about that I had experienced, and and it's a collection of people. If you took all of the experiences of all of the people that helped me with this book, it would probably be over 1,000 years of experience.
Wow.
But there are a lot of things, and these are all things that are departures from the norm. You have a lot of, and of course, I explain in there the different roles and what they are. Now, when it came to CRNA, I've never been in that role, so I didn't know what to put. So, but I mentioned that you know what it is you guys do, and you know what your level of training is for that, and of course I mentioned that the CRNA is the top echelon of the nursing profession. There's really nobody higher than that, and you guys get a lot of respect for that, and sometimes you don't get as much respect as I think you deserve.
Well,
And
yeah, I appreciate you saying
like Heather says here, it's always their fault.
that. Yes, it's
I'll
always
agree with that.
Anderson's fault.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, and we got some comments
Um,
coming in. I wasn't flashing them through here. Yeah, I
oh
got more. Heather's in
yeah,
here in the comments. It looks like Crystal's here as well. Crystal is
right.
now in the
Hello.
ER doing the
Yes, I
Lord's
know.
work there.
She went to the ER before I left Gulfport. She had
Yeah,
already gone to
yeah.
the ER by that point.
So Heather's
Yeah, I'm
mentioned in
glad to
one of
see you all
the
on here.
yeah, yeah. Can you see the comment there, Carson? The sweet potato story.
Oh, the sweet potato story. Okay.
Can,
Well,
can we
it's a true
give a
story.
little let's give a little taste to the people watching that maybe don't have the book yet, you know, what they can kind of
Okay.
expect.
Okay. Well, there is a device um, that elderly women use to hold their uterus in when they start having uterine prolapse. It's called a pessary. Well, when they don't have anything else, then they can use a sweet potato, as one did, and and um, this woman came into the emergency room complaining that she had sticks growing out of her vagina, and so
Sweet.
and so upon examination, it was found that she had used a sweet potato for a pessary, and it sprouted. Well, as it turned out, not only had it sprouted, but it had taken root. And this caused a very serious infectious process where she ended up having to have a hysterectomy. And so I put a little advice in there that if you're going to use a pessary, don't use a sweet potato. And if you do,
Yeah,
take it out from time to time.
that's
Somebody should
right.
definitely write a book about that for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Carson's one
yeah.
step ahead of you.
But yeah, we see things like that. People do things that are incompatible with the human condition, We see that a lot.
Yeah.
And as you well know, we see people do a lot of things of a sexual nature that that are not compatible with
Shouldn't be
their
done.
yes, exactly.
That's a very classy way, Carson, of putting that. Yes, you are correct. People do.
Yes. And if
do
you
that.
want to know more detail, buy the book.
Yeah. Now, are all the
No.
There you go.
stories?
There you go.
Are all the stories in this book kind of the quirky stories that go on, or do you have some different like good stories and stuff like that in it, or is it all the quirky stuff that goes on?
Well, it's mostly quirky stuff, but it's got some light humored stuff in it too. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
You know, a fair amount of it is, but you know, talk about the fellow that came in from surgical tech school and thought he knew everything and was very cocky. And during a GYN procedure, we sent him to Central Florida to pick up a box of fallopian tubes. And he didn't know what fallopian tubes were. And I can tell by the look on your face, Joey, you don't know what fallopian tubes are either. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Joey's
kidding.
like, oh, I don't know.
I've been sitting here this whole conversation just going, I don't know where to jump in. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to say. So you just let me know when I need to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, Joey, let me translate that for you. That's like remember back in the when we worked in the restaurant business, they would send the new cook, they'd send him to get the grill stretcher.
Yeah.
It's the same
or
kind
the glass
of thing.
magnet or any of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Yeah. Go get the fallopian tubes down there from the.
Yeah, all kinds of things.
That's it.
As a matter of fact, you can go into Home Depot right now and ask the average 20-something that's working there for a left-handed hammer, and they will spend a fair amount of time looking for it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I remember a story in anesthesia school. One of our students got asked about. They were talking about lab values, and he was asked about the patient's metachlorian count, and he did not know what that was and couldn't find it. And said he was told by the instructor told him to go home and look it up, and he expected an answer the next morning, which in school, that's a big deal. Like if you don't know the answer to something, you better have it the next day. You better go home and look it up. And he came back the next day and he said, man, I don't know what to tell y'all. I read all over the internet. I Googled. I kept looking for metachlorian count. And he said nothing would pop up medical. And the only thing that kept coming up was a bunch of Star Wars.
I was about to ask. Isn't that the Star Wars? Yeah.
Yeah. So they got him. Yeah, they got him. They got him pretty good. He had no clue.
Nope.
Yeah. And I'm like, Joey, I'm like, I know I'm not the best student, but I'm pretty sure that's Star Wars. So, Joey, what about you for somebody on the outside looking in with to the OR? What do you think of when you think about surgery or what it's like to work in the OR? What do you picture when you think of an OR?
Well, I guess from the outside looking in, we trust you guys with our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like we trust the surgical staff, the nurses, everything else with our lives. And we don't know you. We don't know you from Adam. You know what I'm saying? We don't know your background. We don't know where you went to school. We don't even know if you're like supposed to have this job or you just walked in off the street. But we somehow our American hospital and healthcare system, we just go in and pretty much every time y'all take care of us. I mean, there are some slip ups, but there's thousands and thousands of surgeries that go every day, even the ones that I've seen. And 99% of them go exactly as planned. So that kind of calms that down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's like getting on a plane, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. He's wearing the uniform. I'm assuming he knows how to fly this plane. Yeah. Yes, that is for sure. There are a lot of. Yep. So Carson, I don't know if are you still with us there?
There
It looks
you
like
go.
you froze
Yeah,
just
he's
a little
back.
bit. You're still with us. So what's been when did you release the book? Where is it available? And what I dropped a link to your Facebook page
Right.
for the book. It's in the comments already. But when did you release it and what's been the feedback?
It was released on Christmas Eve this past year, and I've been getting some decent feedback on it. I haven't gotten a lot of reviews on it, but the ones that I have all been 5 stars. So I guess that's a plus. Um,
Yeah.
I've had. I'm hoping that things will pick up a little bit. I've been promoting it, and I think it'll sell more once I come out with the second book. I think
Yeah.
people will get both of
Okay.
them.
What it's available, I know, on Amazon. Is there
Yes.
any other platforms or okay.
Currently, that's the only one that it's available on. However, I'm working with the people that helped me publish it to get it on moved out onto other platforms. So it shouldn't be too long before it'll be
Okay.
available,
Well,
as an ebook, pretty much everywhere ebooks are sold.
okay, yeah, good. Because I was gonna say, I mean, obviously, Amazon is the largest platform of digital retail of everything, not to mention books. So you're in the right spot for
Yeah.
sure. I was gonna ask, like, how have you been promoting the book? Obviously, through your Facebook page. Have you done any? What other methods to getting it out there? Have you tried?
Well, I've approached some people about getting it pushed out onto Facebook groups. I've actually run ads on Facebook for that, but I've mostly uh, kept my marketing contained within Facebook because that's what I know. You know, when you were mentioning all the different platforms that your podcast streams on, I hadn't heard of half of them. So
Yeah.
Neither have I.
once I find out some of these other places, I think I'll spread my wings a little bit on that and get it out there.
There you go. What I'm assuming now this is your first book like ever, right?
Yeah.
You've not written another book prior to this? Okay.
No.
I know with
No.
the amount of schooling that you've gone through that you've definitely written papers before. There's no doubt about that. So what was the process like of writing a book? For someone that's never written one before, where do you start? Like obviously you got to get idea to paper, but is there
Right.
software that you use? What was your writing method like? Did you dedicate time
You
once a
know, I
week? I mean, how did you approach it?
it was one of those things where I just wrote when I felt like writing, and I didn't use any particular software. I put it on Microsoft Word, and I wrote it in my own voice. So I didn't use any special um, methodology to the writing itself. I just wrote off the top of my head. So that, and people who've read the book tell you that sounds just like you. So no, I didn't use any special. It's not even laid out in any real discernible order. It's just I just put down what I felt when I felt it.
How
Okay.
how long did it
Yeah,
take
it's a
you? How
collection
long
of
did it take
stories.
you to write the whole thing, Mr. Carson?
I worked on that for about 3 years, but like I
That's a good
said, it was
time.
just
Cool.
a little bit here, a little bit there. So this next one's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah, for
is going to be
sure.
much
What
faster than that.
Yeah, you've alluded to book 2. Is it gonna be in the same
It is.
ballpark or
It is. It's going to be
okay.
another collection of similar stories, but all of them are going to be different. And but what I will say about these is that everything in it is true. Nothing's made up. There's no fiction to it at all. Every story that's told to me by one of the people that I put in the acknowledgement um, has been verified. I've gotten, second people telling me, "Hey, yeah, that did happen." So,
Right. But I'm assuming the names are changed to protect the identity. But other than that,
all of the names in the acknowledgement are the names of the people, the actual people. However, there's no names that are. Everything that's in the stories themselves are pseudonyms, and none of the stories are attached to any particular contributor. So
gotcha.
You can read something and say, that sounds like something Dave said, but I don't know for sure. So I don't attribute anything to anyone.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, and by the way,
what time frame are we looking like on?
I'm thinking somewhere around November, but it will probably be later than that. So I'm thinking probably around more likely January or February of 26.
You got
okay. Good deal. What was you going to say about your wife? There's a little of a delay.
Oh yeah,
Carson. What was you going to say?
My wife is in on the comments, and she says she wants me to tell who my favorite nurse is. Liz Harris is my favorite nurse.
Okay.
I
there you go.
No
Smart
doubt
man.
about that.
Happy wife, happy life, man. That's how it goes.
When I was a absolutely. When I was a scrub tech, she came in as a trainee nurse, and in that hospital, they trained nurses that were coming into the peri-op program. They trained them to circulate and to scrub. So I trained her on how to scrub, and she taught me how to circulate, and it was great. She got to where she was very, very good at scrubbing.
Yeah. There you go. Good deal. What was you going to say, Joey?
I can't remember. I was going to ask, like, for me coming as an outsider, I know you put little notes in the back, but like, I don't know any of what you're talking about. There's a way that me not knowing the medical field can understand this book, correct?
Yes. Right. You can get a dictionary, medical dictionary, if that would help. If you want a quick answer to something, my email address is in the back. Send me an email. I'll explain it to you in layman's terms.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, Carson, this has been a great chat, my man. Where is there anywhere else we can send people that are watching this live or the replay or the audio side of things? Is there, other than the Facebook page, which, like I said, it's already dropped in the comments, and I'll have that linked on the audio side of this. Anywhere else they can go to stay up to date? Probably the Facebook page be the most up to date spot.
There's not really any place other than the Facebook page. If you want to put something, I'll be more than happy to
no.
take it under advice. Stuff on X and lose connection again.
No, we got you. It's just a little
fuzzy,
choppy,
but you came back.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I really wish I was just there in your studio. That would be next time.
Yeah, that's what
I'll go down there. We'll have this at the studio. How's that?
There you go. Yeah, it is. The internet does create a bit of a lag sometimes that can make these, a little bit more difficult. But I think what you were saying, correct me if I'm wrong, was that the Facebook page is the is the #1 place where you're at, which is the best place to be. That's where most people are active. So that's great. You got that under control there.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a link to purchase the book from the
Yeah.
Facebook page, or take you right over to Amazon, or just Google,
There
or
is.
not Google, just type it in on
You
Amazon.
type it
The
in on
title there, Tales
Amazon.
from the OR, and I'm sure it'll come right
Yeah.
up. So
Yep. It has a
there you go.
cover. You can't
Well,
miss it.
Carson, thank you for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss it. And matter of fact, I
Yeah,
already
you
flashed it
up.
earlier,
Yeah.
but we'll do it
There
again.
it is.
That's what you're looking for right there. Tales from the OR, a candid look at the operating room and its culture by Carson Harris. So and there's his credentials right
That's
there
a lot.
after it. So
There's a lot underneath
yeah,
that name.
Carson, we appreciate you jumping on here with us, man. I hope everything's good out there in New Mexico, and you keep fighting a good fight, my man.
Jared, it's been a pleasure speaking with you and Joey.
That's okay. We got it. We got you, my man.
Okay, good.
You have a good evening.
Yeah, that was cool.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, it's a cool read, man. If people that looking for something to kind of figure out what it's like inside the world of the OR, you can hear some cool stories. The digital ones are always less than cool for us, and just like Carson was mentioning, because we do have that sometimes, that internet lag that kind of, buffers us up. But we got Joey, we got some the Bay Rat Bash I mentioned at the beginning of the show. We got that coming up. So we're looking forward to that. That's April the 5th. If you're just joining us, you didn't hear it earlier. You can go over to brownwaterbanter.com and register there. The app, if you don't have the Brownwater app, we'd really appreciate it if you could go download it. It's free, and it connects you to all of our stuff. All of our social media links are inside of there. All of our YouTube videos are inside of there. And there's actually a country music radio station that plays inside of there as well. So yeah, it's kind of like outlaw country too. So if you're into that, you can go listen to that for free.
The shop's back up.
And you can
shop's back up.
The shop. That is correct. The Brownwater Banter shop. You can go check out all our merch. We're going to get a little bit better. I got some things we need to be doing on this program as well, Joey, of getting the QR code flashing at the bottom there with our merch there. But we got some cool hats. Joey's wearing one. I'm wearing one of the ones. These are older editions, but we got some cool stuff there. So go check it out. If you want to support the show, that's the best way to do it, is buy some merch and we'll ship it to you. And I think that's about it. We got some cool stuff coming up. We're going to be doing more in-studio stuff. We did these 2 virtual ones back to back. We just moved to a new studio spot. You won't really be able to tell on the live streams because it looks exactly the same as far as the camera is concerned. But we're working on booking some guests right now. Joey's been sending text messages and emails like crazy. So we got some cool stuff coming up. So unless you got anything else, Joey, that's all I got, man.